This is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd. Jordan's military says King Abdullah's half-brother, Prince Hamza bin Hussein, was told to stop actions used to target the country's security and stability. In a statement published on the state news agency, the military said it was part of a broader ongoing security investigation in which a former minister, a member of the royal family, and unnamed others were detained. Jordanian Army Chief Yusef Huneity said that what had been published about allegations about the arrest of His Highness Prince Hamza is not true. In Washington, State Department spokesman Ned Price said the United States is closely following the reports and called King Abdullah a key partner of the United States and said he has our full support. King Abdullah dismissed Hamza as heir to the throne in 2004 in a move that consolidated his power. Prince Hamza has been largely pushed into the political wilderness since he was dismissed as crown prince. Pope Francis has urged his coronavirus-weary flock to not lose hope even through the continued dark months of the pandemic as he celebrated a scaled-back Easter Vigil service at St. Peter's Basilica on Saturday. Due to social distancing norms, only about 200 masked people were allowed to attend the service, which marks the period between Christ's crucifixion and his resurrection on Easter Sunday. For the second year in a row, the Vatican cut out the traditional sacrament of baptism for a handful of adults to limit the chance of infections. Usually a long, late-night ritual, this year's vigil service started earlier than usual to respect Italy's 10 p.m. curfew. Visit voanews.com for more. This is VOA News. Security forces in central Myanmar opened fire on anti-coup protesters Saturday, killing at least 5 people. We get more from AP's Sarah Bassett.
Human rights group Assistance Association for Political Prisoners says mounting violence since the February 1st military takeover has killed at least 550 civilians, including 46 children. Nearly 3,000 people have been detained or sentenced, according to the group. Threats of lethal violence and arrests of protesters have failed to suppress daily demonstrations across the country, demanding the military step down and reinstate the democratically elected government. I'm Sarah Bassett.
The Associated Press has learned more about the man who rammed a car into 2 police officers outside the U.S. Capitol Friday, killing one of the policemen. AP's Ben Thomas has details.
A U.S. official tells AP Noah Green had been suffering from delusions, paranoia, and suicidal thoughts. Police shot the 25-year-old after he jumped out of a car, knife in hand, and charged the 2 officers he struck. He later died at a hospital. The official tells AP investigators have spoken with Green's family and are focused on his mental health as they work to identify a motive. Meanwhile, the officer killed has been identified as William Evans. Known as Billy, he was an 18-year veteran of the Capitol Police and a member of its first responders unit. Ben Thomas, Washington.
At least 10 people were killed on Saturday when a suicide bomber struck makeshift kiosks in the Somali capital Mogadishu hours after Shabab militants had attacked 2 National Army bases outside the city. An information ministry spokesman said a suicide bomber blew himself up under trees where poor mothers sold tea, milk, and the narcotic leaf khat. Ismail Mukhtar Omar told Reuters news agency that more people were wounded in the attack. Earlier, Somali military forces and Shabab militants clashed in early morning attacks in the southern region of Lower Shabelle on bases in Awdhegleh and Bariirre, some 30 kilometers apart. Heavy casualties are reported on both sides, but numbers are difficult to confirm. Reporting by remote, I'm David Byrd, VOA News.